Breaking news, we have chaos in Mexico, and Americans cannot go home and are sheltering in place. Without further ado, let's jump into the video.
We begin with breaking news. Mexico is at war tonight. The drug cartels taking on the Mexican federal government and threatening to kill anyone who gets in their way.
It started with the killing of a cartel boss and quickly erupted into gun battles across much of the country, and leading the U.S. to put out a do not travel advisory on most of the country. Megan Spector joins us in the studio after speaking with multiple Arizonans caught in the crossfire. Megan.
Yeah, I did. Well, this is a look at the travel advisories map from the U.S. Department of State. Today's chaos and violence in Mexico just adding more restrictions as Americans who are already there are being warned to shelter in place.
I'm devastated, scared, and we don't know if we're going to make it out of here.
Calling Fox 10 from Guadalajara, Mexico, Salida Ponce from Maricopa says she's terrified.
Just like a war, oh my God, the attacks were horrible.
A day of violence erupting in Mexico after a military operation led to the death of a cartel leader. Now parts of the country under attack. As flights are canceled, streets are closed, and tourists told to shelter in place.
The vibes changed really fast, right? Yesterday was a beautiful, wonderful Puerto Vallarta vacation day. And then today just feels very eerie. And
in case you've never been to Mexico, what they show on TV is a monolith. And I know they show you the beautiful resorts and things like that. Howsoever, Mexico is a very poor country. And shout out to all my Mexican friends, man, because there's some amazing people. Howsoever, Mexico is a very, very, very poor country. Howsoever, it is rich in resources. And in case you've been living under a rock, the cartel is their biggest enemy. Even their own locals don't like the cartel. And so just to kind of give you a rundown in general of the cartel, it's just a more organized, more global set of gangbangers that deal drugs, that ship drugs, human trafficking, extortion, bribery of officials, all different types of things. You may think that the gangbangers in your local neighborhood are ruthless. It's nothing compared to the cartel. Nothing compared to the cartel. If you think I'm lying, I want you to go research the Juarez cartel. There was reported that they hung several people from a bridge in the middle of town to send a message, to let the locals know, don't mess with us. Now, I don't know about y'all, man, but that's a different level of evil to me. That's beyond demon time. That sounds like the devil's your partner to me. But what's more concerning is that the places that Americans are stuck at, I have visited. And man, it is not a good place to be. One of the most common places people go in Mexico is Baja, Rosarito, Tulum, Cancun. These are all beautiful coastal places, but the closest one to the border would be Tijuana. I'm telling you, Mexico is not a place to be unless you know someone there or you know where you're going. It's a place where you can go and disappear and they will not find you. So the reason why we're acting to this is because, yes, we knew that Trump was going after the cartel, but we have Americans that are stuck down there. Now, hopefully these are people that are retired, but what if you had a job? What if you had a job and you had to be back at work on today, on Monday, February 23rd, when we shooting this video, and you are unable to go back to work because you are stuck down there based on the violence that is happening?
Very vacant looks from the staff, asking them if their families are okay, just trying to figure out how do we get out of here and are we safe here?
Melissa Selvi, an Arizonan sheltering in place at her resort in Mexico, shares photos with us from her balcony.
Multiple fires popping up from different directions. And then seeing kind of the look on the staff and the unknowns from the people trying to catch a cab to the airport, trying to sort through fact and fiction, and just a lot of unknown for today.
Waiting in the hotel for updates, she sent videos from the resort staff out in the streets.
He texted my cell phone.
Y'all look at that. Y'all can't tell me your local Crips and Bloods is setting cars on fire and sending a message like that. I'm trying to tell you, the cartel is on a totally different level. And a lot of people like to go down there playing around in Mexico like you back in the city. I'm telling you, you cannot go down there in those people's country acting crazy and doing whatever you want. And I'm not saying that the Americans were down there doing that. They just managed to get caught up in the crossfire. But man, this is sad. My family members own property in Mexico. And sometimes me and my wife go down there to hang out. Howsoever, man, I'm thinking, what if we was down there this weekend? What if we was down in Mexico this weekend? We wouldn't have been able to get back. Well, I'm not going to say we wouldn't have been able to get back. Well, we might not have been able to get back because I'm telling you, when the cartel is pissed off, they will send a message at all costs.
And said, Miss Melissa, please do not leave the hotel. It is very dangerous.
Flights to Mexico canceled, suspended, and even diverted back to Sky Harbor.
We're stranded right now, basically.
An inconvenience for this out-of-state traveler, but one he's grateful for as chaos south of the border continues.
Kind of alarming, and glad that it was caught before we actually landed. So
There's just not a lot of information going back and forth. And I think that nobody saying anything also makes it a little more intense. We're just confused. Are we supposed to keep going? Are we on vacation? Are we in danger?
We did hear from several Arizona leaders commenting on this situation. Congressman Greg Stanton's office putting out resources and contact numbers for Arizonans who are trying to get out of Mexico right now and encouraging those people to enroll in the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program to help the U.S. Embassy connect with them.
I looked up about 15,000 expats live in that area, most of them Americans. The first woman on the phone, how's she doing tonight?
We've been in close contact throughout the night. She's scared. You could hear it in her voice. We do know that we passed along those numbers to her. The contact information, she's reaching out on her own. Her flight is tomorrow morning, so she's been in a hotel just waiting for more information. But for anyone else who needs those numbers, we also have those on our website at fox10phoenix.com.
We'll see how this develops because I know a lot of people, including my parents, have Mexican vacation plans for spring break. So hopefully this calms down out there.
Definitely, hopefully.
Great
Thanks,
work.
Megan.
Thanks, Megan. Senator Mark Kelly making a similar plea to Arizonans trapped in Mexico, urging them to shelter in place and sign up for the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program from the State Department.
Senator Ruben Gallego directing his message toward the Mexico leadership, saying the Mexican government needs to recognize that letting cartels grow unchecked is a threat to everyone, and it's time they treat them as a threat that they are.
And
It's real easy to say to check the cartel, but they literally run themselves like a Fortune 500 company. They have millions of dollars. They have politicians and local leaders on their payroll. And guess what? Every time you kill one cartel leader, there's always somebody else in line. There's always somebody else waiting for their turn. So if you want to eradicate the cartel, you have to take out all the top leaders. All of them. As easy as that may sound, it's not something easy to achieve. But prayers to the Americans that are stuck there. I pray you get out soon.
Arizona AG Chris Mays also turning the focus on organized crime, saying the situation in Puerto Vallarta shows how critical the fight against the Mexican drug cartels is.
And shout out to Puerto Vallarta, man. It's a beautiful place. You know what I just thought about, man? I feel bad for the people that have cruises booked because one of the hot spots for the cruises here in California is taking the Mexican Riviera tour, which includes going to Ensenada, Puerto Vallarta, and Mazatlan. I like Mazatlan. They know how to party in Mazatlan. It's a good time in Mazatlan. And the food is amazing. Outside of the resort experience, I'm telling you, it's very impoverished. And if you have a heart for people, it will make you sad. It'll make you really, really sad. Because literally everybody there is hustling some form of way. They are hustling to survive in Mexico. You will literally see women on the side of the road with a young child and a newborn baby trying to sell gum and different things, trying to make money for herself. It's just really sad, y'all.
We reached out to the governor for a statement, but did not hear back.
Tonight, we're learning more about the cartel boss whose death kicked off the violence today. The Mexican government says Nemesio Cervantes, also known as El Mencho, was killed in a military operation in Talpalpa earlier today. Cervantes was the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, and some experts say that his influence on Mexico's organized crime was similar to that of El Chapo. El Mencho was wounded in the fighting and then died en route to the hospital in Mexico City.
We'll continue to monitor the situation in Mexico as it develops and bring you the latest on air and online on fox10phoenix.com.
Prayers to the families in Mexico. Prayers to the Americans that are working on getting out. As Americans, we need to cherish our freedom of speech, our freedom of choice. Hell, we need to cherish the amenities and the opportunities we have available here in this great country of America. Now, we may disagree about certain things that come to politics and how this country is run, but understand you still have more freedom than most people in other countries. But that's it for the video. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you like this type of content. Remember, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out.